paper. And so I'm about to do a quick revision for the biology part. So I hope you guys have studied well. So let's see if you guys have covered these topics, because in my opinion I think these topics will be really good for this upcoming exam. In this session, we will go through the key questions from the supportive test provided by the Ministry of Education. This is a 1-hour paper, and we will carefully analyze the questions, focusing on tricky areas to ensure a better understanding. Let's get started. Let's focus on the question number 2. What is the correct answer which indicates the scientific name of mango plants? As you guys know, when we write scientific names, there are few rules that we have to follow. The first thing is the name should start with a capital letter. A scientific name has 2 components. The first component starts with a capital letter. The second component starts with a simple letter. The rest of the letters should be written in simple letters, and finally all the letters should be written in italic form. So according to this, the answer should be number 2. Okay, now let's focus on question number 5. Blank is a photoautotrophic organism. As you know, photoautotrophic. Photo means using sunlight. Autotrophics means producing their own food using carbon dioxide and water. So we have 4 options. So let's break down each option one by one. The Chlamydomonas is one of the algae. So as we know, algae are using sunlight to produce their own food. So Chlamydomonas is definitely a photoautotrophic organism. The second option is yeast. Yeast is a fungus, and all the fungus, they do not photosynthesize, and they get energy from breaking down organic matter. The third one is sea anemone. So this animal, it depends on organisms for its nutritional requirement. And finally, amoeba. It's a single-celled organism, and it engulfs food particles instead of producing its own food. So the answer should be 1. Question number 6. So we have to understand the 2 vegetative propagation parts of plant A and plant B. As you guys know, there are 4 types of underground stem vegetative propagative parts. So the first one is rhizome, the second one is comb, third one is bulb, the fourth one is stem tuber. So the rhizome means they are all underground modified stems. So they grow horizontally under the soil, and they have nodes, they have internodes. So as you know, in this picture we can see it has nodes and some internodes. So they have been grown horizontally. So this one is definitely a rhizome. Then a stem tuber means it's an underground stem which has swollen, and they mostly have some irregular shapes and thickened stems. So these stems are usually storing starch. So as we know, the bee is a potato, and when it creates the eyes or the buds, those buds can shoot into a new plant. So the bee is we can identify it as a stem tuber. So the answer should be the option number 1. So the comb, let's talk about the other 2 as well. Comb is, if we take an example for comb, so mainly They are not like the rhizomes, but they have vertical solid structures like the haberella that we have in our gardens. So they have solid structures, and the cover is made with dry scale like leaf like things, and it also has these nodes and internodes, but none of these are showing the vertical root stem part. And the last one is bulb. So as we know, a common example for bulb is onions. So they have a really small stem base, and they have fleshy, leathery leaf-like structure which stores nutrients. And so when they contains these growing points in the center, and it produces a new shoot. So those are the 4 vegetative propagative stem types under the underground stems. So the answer for this question should be number 1. So let's focus on question number 8. The tissue that provides rigidity to the plant body. So among these 4, the phloem, cambium, parenchyma, they all are not showing strong rigid structure. So between all these 4, xylem is the only one that is providing a vascular rigid structure for the plant. So xylems are usually transporting water and minerals through the stem towards the leaves, where phloems are carrying food and nutrients inside of the stem parts. And the cambiums are mainly secondarily developed cell structures. So it does not directly provide rigidity, but it helps more to form xylem. And the parenchymas are helps storing food during the photosynthesis, and it is supporting for the metabolism, and it's soft, it does not provide the rigidity. So the appropriate answer for the question is answer number 1. Let's focus on question number 10. Which hormone does the opposite function of the glucagon hormones? As we know, glucagon hormone and insulin hormone both are secreted by the pancreas, and they both do opposite works. So insulin operates to lower the blood sugar level in the blood, and the glucagon, it focuses on raising blood sugar level in the blood by breaking down the stored glycogens in the liver. Usually during fasting and more you are low in blood sugar level, the glucagon hormones are secreted to the blood. So the adrenaline hormone, it is increasing the blood sugar during this stress. So it is usually creating that fight or flight response in our body. And the calcitonin, it regulates the calcium levels in our blood by lowering the amount of calcium. So now, as we know, we can get insulin, option number 4, insulin, as the answer for the question number 10. Question number 14. What is the answer with membraneless, single membrane and double membrane organelles in a cell respectively? Let's try to analyze each of these organelles one by one so that we can understand which of them are membraneless, single membrane or double membrane. So ribosomes, they usually don't have membranes, they move freely around cytoplasm and they don't have any membranes. So the Golgi bodies or the Golgi apparatus, so they are single membraned organelles and they are mainly responsible for secreting substances inside of the cells. Then chloroplast. Chloroplast is responsible on photosynthesis. So it's a double membraned organelle. So there is another organelle that is also double membraned. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is also a double membraned one, and nucleus, it is also double membraned. So the correct answer between these options is option number 1. So question number 16. So which of the following is not a product of respiration in plants? So let's analyze each of them one by one. So ethyl alcohol, it's a product of anaerobic respiration in the plants, especially in yeast. So when they undergoes fermentation and if the oxygens are not available, it breaks down glucose into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So ethanol is a product in respiration of plants. Then carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is an aerobic respiratory product and also an anaerobic respiratory product. So carbon dioxide is released as a waste product during this reaction. Then the lactic acid. So lactic acids are typically produced inside of muscle cells of animals. So when the muscle cells are absence of oxygen, it undergoes anaerobic condition which ethanol and carbon dioxides are produced. So ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So ATP is the primary energy source of our cells. So both plants and animals, when they undergo aerobic and anaerobic respiration, they produce ATP. So the ATP is regenerates from the glucose. When the glucose breaks down into energy, and those energy transformed into the molecule ATP. So it is being used for all the molecular activities inside of our cells. So for this question, the answer is number 3. Why lactic acids are only produced inside of animal muscle cells. Okay, question number 18. Excretion of waste products produced during metabolism from the body is known as, so you can easily grasp the answer by just looking at the words. So let's check them one by one. Excretion means eliminating metabolic waste which has produced during the metabolic chemical reactions. So there are few excretion methods inside of our cells. So the most common excretory waste product is carbon dioxide, and sometimes in animals they are excreting urine as an excretory product through the kidneys. Right. In the plants, so they are eliminating waste products like oxygen during the photosynthesis reaction. So excretion is defined as the process of eliminating metabolic waste from any of the body. Right. So the answer should be option 1. So let's discuss about the other 3 as well. So coordination means it is the process of organizing and controlling the activities of different organs and systems of a body. So they are trying to manage those processes efficiently. So the nervous system and endocrine system are the one who's coordinating the actions and the responses in a human body. Right, so the irritability, it means the ability of an organism to respond to a certain stimuli from the environment, the light, the heat or the pressure. So this is a feature where these living organisms are reacting to the changes in their surroundings. Right, so the fourth one is respiration. The respiration is the process where the organisms are converting food to energy, ATP. So ATP is the main energy source inside of our body, and the carbon dioxide is a waste product of respiration, but the respiration itself is not eliminating the waste. For that it needs the excretion process. So the respiration is just a simple energy production mechanism. So the answer should be answer number 1. Right, now let's focus on question number 24. To understand the answer for this question, you have to recap your knowledge about the productions during photosynthesis and the carbohydrates that are produced during these processes. So which carbohydrates are produced, which are transformed, which are stored, so which are transported. So we have to have the idea of all these aspects. So this flow chart is illustrating those aspects. So during the photosynthesis, the carbohydrates that is produced is glucose, and the storage form of this glucose is the starch, and the form of that is transporting those stored starch is the sucrose. So as we know, by understanding that thing, we can get the answer as glucose, starch and sucrose. So it's answer number 2. Right, question number 25. Which answer shows the ascending order of the mass of the element in an organism? So to understand the answer for this question, you have to remember all the mass percent ratios that are present inside of the biological bodies. So as we know, there are 4 base elements: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen. So the order that I said, O, C, H, N. O is in the highest percentage, then carbon, the third one is hydrogen, the last one is nitrogen according to the mass percentage. So in this question, they requires the ascending order. So ascending order means from the smallest percentage to the largest percentage. So with the given answers, the smallest percentage should be either hydrogen or nitrogen, but in here it's hydrogen. So it should be an answer, definitely starts with hydrogen. And the second lowest is carbon. The largest percentage is in oxygen. So the answer should be answer number 4. Right, question number 38. So given below are some animals that live near a garbage dump. Among them, who is the animal with the highest concentration of microplastic particles in its body? So between these 4, you have to focus on which animal lives mostly near to a garbage dump. So obviously hawks, they live near to forestry or jungle areas. Snakes are mostly not living near to garbage dumps. Frogs are mostly insectivores, so it means they mainly consumes insects, and they mostly live near to bit of watery areas. So the rat is the animal most likely to live near the garbage dumps, and it is the animal that is very likely to ingest microplastics by consuming or inhaling or the skin contacting of microplastics that have entered to its body. So the highest percentage of concentration of microplastics should be present in rats. Though the snakes are eating rats, so they are not directly consuming microplastics. Those are indirectly consuming microplastics. Hawks are also the same. They are consuming reptiles, the frogs and all. So none of them are directly depending on microplastic consumption. The only one who is consuming microplastics directly are the rats. So mainly rats can be consuming microplastics by the ingestion, then skin contact and inhalation. So those are the three ways that the rats are consuming the microplastics. So the answer should be answer number 1. Question number 39. So this is a food web. So now they are removing tea from this ecosystem. Because of that, which population density decreases rapidly? So let's see. The tea is at the end of the food chain. So it means it is definitely a predator. So if we have removed the tea, both Q and P and R, they all will be highly populated. So because of their highly population, the XS can be overexploited or it can be overconsumed. So the highest threat will occur on the organism S. So the most endangered species could be S. So the answer will be answer number 4. Right, question number 40. So this is about 4R principles: reduce, reuse, recycle and refuse. So refuse means avoiding the use of non-environmental friendly materials. So reduce means minimizing the waste production. Reuse means using an item multiple times before discarding it. And recycle means processing waste materials to make a new product. So if we observe our A, B, C situations, A uses banana leaves instead of polythene. So it is trying to adapt an environmental friendly material for its day-to-day activities. So this is definitely talking about a replace. So B, using food scraps from home to make compost. So using the waste materials to make a new product. So this is talking about the recycle. And using polythene bags bought from previous days to another applications. So it is talking about reusing a product that you have used multiple times. So this is talking about reuse principle. So for the answer we can choose answer number 1. That just covers the biology part of the MCQ paper in 2024 supportive test made by the Ministry of Education. So thank you so much for your time and attention. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. If you found my explanations helpful, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Finally, I like to wish you all the very best for your Science O-Level exam. Stay focused, stay confident, and give it your best shot. Good luck.